Okay, good afternoon. So, I said I wasn't going to do this until after I got my decision um, from the company I interviewed with, as in doing this very short style of video, with just having kind of a sped up replay of what I did today, coding wise, and then just I'll talk over it. So kind of what I'm doing right now is right now I'm literally just recording a full screen camera and just gonna talk about um, what I did today in like and also an introduction and just go over whatever. Um, and so and then I'm just gonna however long this like actual video footage is, I'm going to speed up the coding footage to just make sure it like matches the length of this. So whatever I recorded for like an hour today, so depending on how long I talk now, is how fast that will be in the background. So I'm not gonna like talk through what I'm doing in the background as it's happening. I'm just gonna talk about in general what I did, um, but also just in general, I had my computer architecture class this morning. We went over actually how CPUs are made, and then also some like cache systems and how various versions of that work. And then um, it's raining today, so just thought I'd let you know. Um, yeah, I'm still. So the decision for the internship should be within the next 3 days. Could be tomorrow, could be Thursday. They said like midweek, um, so yeah, definitely nervous. I mean, I've said it so many times. It's gonna be heartbreaking if I don't get it. But what what you gonna do? Um, all I can do is I mean, like I said, my whole thing is that it's just gonna be really scary because the job market for an entry level developer is disgusting. I mean, at least from the looks of it. I mean, I feel like I got a taste of that just through the internship market of, I got next to nothing. This was the only interview I got for 7, 8 months of applying. And thankfully, I made it to the final round and think I did pretty decent in the final round. Um, but yeah, it's not encouraging, I guess. Um, and then um, yeah, that's about all that. I have my meeting tomorrow with my advisor to go over classes for next semester and talk about what I talked about the previous day. Um, and yeah, that's about it. So as for what I did today, I worked on the assembler for my computer architecture project. Um, so next Wednesday we have our presentation for the pipeline. Um, so the big thing that he wants to see there is the whole loading binary values into DRAM, taking those values and then doing some basic instruction set operations. So like a load, a store, some arithmetic with those values, but also being able to visually show the pipeline, being able to handle delays. Like if we're reading and writing to DRAM, there has to be like a delay that we have to like. Because I mean, if you were just doing this on hardware, obviously you would never set a delay. You would just want it to go as fast as possible. But because we're on hardware, we're doing a simulator. It takes. He wants us to show that it takes more time to go to DRAM than it does cache, right? Obviously. So it's like we'll have cycles, and those cycles will set like, hey, if we're writing to DRAM, we can't do anything with memory for the next 5 cycles. So if we hit another write back, but DRAM's already processing a write back, we have to wait, you know. Uh, so being able to incorporate stalls into the pipeline, handling delay, which is we handled delay on the last presentation. But so we don't actually need the assembler done for this demo, but I really just want to get well, tactically in this video, we finished the assembler. I did not thoroughly test it, so it could just be blaringly wrong, to be honest. Um, but I mean, for how I was, just testing it with like, I just put a main function in there and was running that with like just a single line of like an add or a store or whatever, and it was giving me back my hexadecimal that mapped exactly to the binary encoding that I wanted. So that's, what I want is just to be able to, load a text file of my instruction set and all its commands to do something. And we're going to have our API handling this assembler, and it's going to pass through line by line from the main function. We have the UI, which is going to load in that text file of all the instructions, and then it's going to go instruction for instruction from the API. Actually, so we have the main. I talked about this all in the last video, but we have the main simulator. The main simulator has our instance of DRAM and cache and registers and stuff like that. Then I'm going to have the UI, right? And so the UI is going to make a subprocess of that main simulator and hold on to that subprocess. It's like the one subprocess that's going to run. So then as it's running that, there's a while loop that's waiting for input from this API that's running as a subprocess. And so on the UI, when we load in those instructions, right, the API is then going to send that file contents as I think just an array, I have it, to that subprocess of the main simulator. And then line by line, it's going to call to the API again to call to the assembler. And the assembler is going to take each line and put it into the binary encoding, which is what we did today. And so now what we have to implement is those returned results from the assembler needs to be sent back to the subprocess of the main function so that it can write that to DRAM and increment the program counter to write the next instruction in DRAM, and then just keep going and storing all those instructions. And so then when that's done, I'm going to start working on the pipeline, because now I can upload a text file of assembly and have it load into DRAM, and then the pipeline can start going through that. So first I'm just going to do, I'm just going to make my, my section of the pipeline is the beginning, which is the fetch and the decode. And then my partner is supposed to be doing the execute, memory access, and write back. And I know execute, memory write back, and that is definitely the more complex part of the pipeline. But I'm doing all like the supporting stuff of like the UI and the assembler and stuff like that. So yeah, that was, what was done today. I don't know. Probably might just study linear algebra tonight. I don't know if I'm going to do much programming. But I may. I'm not sure. Still a lot of hours in the day. It's like 2:30 right now. So yeah. So let me know if you like this format better. If you watched any of my previous videos. I think it, is better because it's a lot more consumable. You get to see everything of what I did in a sped up version, and I get to streamline and say exactly what I did. And if anything's going on in school or in my career, I can kind of talk about it at the beginning here and keep these videos, under 10 minutes ideally. So, okay, well, that is all I have. So, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for day 116, I think. So yeah. Okay. Bye.